Trump's jaw-dropping reaction to a majestic eagle's surprise visit. The sky above the Jefferson Monument hung heavy and gray, as if holding its breath. Thousands had gathered, flags rippling gently in the cold breeze, their faces filled with hope and quiet uncertainty. Among them was Martha, a widowed mother clutching the hand of her 12-year-old son, Luke. They had traveled from a struggling Midwestern town, believing that this day might change everything. An elderly war veteran, Henry, stood nearby, leaning on his cane, his gaze fixed upward as though searching for something unseen. His words were soft but clear. "If the eagle appears today, something monumental will happen." The crowd turned toward the stage as Donald Trump stepped forward, his presence commanding silence. His voice rang out, steady and full of purpose. "Today, we are not just dreaming of a brighter America, we are building it together." But even as Trump's words echoed through the air, something else stirred, a tension that no one could explain. The crowd's attention shifted, their eyes drawn toward the sky. Then it happened. A single piercing cry split through the silence, heads snapped upward. Through the thick gray clouds, a dark shape appeared. Wings wide, powerful, unmistakable. It was an eagle. The crowd froze, breathless, as the majestic bird soared above them, its presence turning a simple moment into something extraordinary. For a heartbeat, time itself seemed to stand still. Trump stopped mid-sentence, his gaze fixed on the eagle, his expression stunned. The crowd whispered in awe. Henry's voice rose once more, filled with certainty. "It's here. History is being written." And in that moment, everyone knew they were witnessing something far greater than they had imagined. The crowd stood silent, hearts still echoing with the cry of the eagle. On the stage, Donald Trump raised his voice, clear and unwavering. "Today we are not just dreaming of a better future. We're building it together." His words swept over the gathering like a wave, igniting something unspoken. Trump painted a vision of America renewed, where education reached every child, opportunities lifted every community, and justice belonged to all. In the crowd, Martha leaned close to her son Luke, her voice soft but filled with hope. "Remember this moment, my love. Today could change everything." Luke nodded, his eyes fixed on the stage, feeling something shift deep inside, a sense that his future could hold more than he'd ever dared imagine. Behind them, the old veteran Henry stood still, his gaze locked on the sky. He whispered, almost to himself, "This is how history begins." The wind quieted, the crowd listened, enraptured, as Trump's final words rang out. "We are stronger when we stand as one. Together we will rise." For a moment it felt as if time had paused. The air was thick with purpose, and everyone knew they were part of something far greater than themselves. A sudden, piercing cry cut through the air, silencing the crowd. Heads snapped upward, eyes searching the gray sky. And then it appeared. A bald eagle, its massive wings slicing through the clouds. The sight was breathtaking, its presence commanding instant awe. The eagle soared above the crowd, circling gracefully over the American flag on stage. Gasps rippled as it descended, deliberate and powerful, until it landed atop the Jefferson statue, its piercing gaze sweeping the crowd like a judge weighing their hearts. Trump froze, then looked up, his voice steady and filled with purpose. "This is no coincidence. This eagle reminds us that we are part of something greater, a mission we must not fail." The crowd stood in hushed reverence. The eagle's presence transformed the moment, making it clear this was not just a speech, it was a call to destiny. The crowd stood frozen, captivated by the eagle perched high above, its regal presence radiating an unspoken power. No one dared to move, as if breaking the silence might shatter the profound moment that had enveloped them. Hearts swelled with a mix of awe, hope, and purpose, each person feeling a connection to something greater than themselves. From the center of the crowd, Henry, the old veteran, broke the silence. His voice, now steady and filled with conviction, rang out clearly. "This is a blessing. Every great change begins with a sign." As his words settled over the gathering, the eagle shifted slightly, its powerful wings stretching briefly before a single feather detached. The feather drifted slowly, almost deliberately, through the air before landing near Trump's feet. The crowd held their breath as Trump bent down to pick up the feather. Straightening, he raised it high above his head, his voice carrying the weight of the moment. This feather symbolizes that no dream is too small and no American will be left behind. A ripple of emotion swept through the audience. Tears welled up in Martha's eyes as she clutched her son Luke's hand tightly. For the first time in years, she felt the flicker of real hope, a belief that the future could truly hold something brighter, not just for her, but for her boy. Luke turned to his mother, his voice soft but resolute. "Mom, this feels important, like something big is happening." She nodded, unable to speak, her heart too full for words. All around them, the crowd was united, not by fear or division, but by a shared sense of possibility. In that moment, it wasn't just a speech or a symbolic bird. It was the birth of a collective belief that together they could build a better future. The feather in Trump's hand seemed to gleam in the light as he stepped forward, his voice firm yet filled with emotion. This moment is not just about hope, it's about action. Together, we're not just watching history, we're writing it. He paused, scanning the crowd, his words striking at the heart of their shared struggles. He began to paint a vision, clear, bold, and within reach. Imagine an America where every child, no matter how small their town or how limited their resources, has access to quality education. Imagine children like Luke, Trump gestured toward the boy in the crowd, able to chase their dreams without fear of barriers holding them back. The crowd stirred, heads nodding as he continued. "Now think of people like Clara," he said, referencing a story of a single mother with a dream of opening her own bakery, who worked tirelessly but are stopped by financial walls. "We will break those barriers. We will empower small businesses, the lifeblood of our communities." His tone grew even more impassioned as he turned to a new promise. "We will create a green future, one where renewable energy not only protects the planet but fuels millions of jobs. Mechanics, engineers, laborers, everyone will have the chance to contribute to a cleaner, stronger America." The crowd erupted into applause, but Trump held up his hand, his voice steady. "And above all, we will break the walls that divide us. Race, gender, class, these will no longer hold us apart. A strong America is an America for everyone." The people were captivated, his vision resonating in their hearts. Trump looked out at the sea of faces, his voice rising one last time. "This is not just about speeches or promises. This is about all of us, together, building the America we dream of. The eagle has shown us the way. Now it's time for us to act." In that moment, the crowd wasn't just listening. They were inspired. They were ready. It wasn't just Trump's vision anymore. It was theirs. As Trump's final words echoed across the gathering, the eagle, perched atop the Jefferson statue, began to move. It spread its massive wings, the sunlight breaking through the clouds and illuminating the bird in a golden glow. Gasps rippled through the crowd, and a collective hush fell over the thousands of people watching, spellbound. The eagle lifted off, its wings cutting through the air with grace and power. It soared higher and higher, its silhouette stark against the now brilliant sky. The gray clouds had parted, replaced by beams of sunlight cascading onto the flag-filled crowd. The energy of the moment was electric. From somewhere deep within the gathering, a chant began. Soft at first, but growing in strength. USA, USA. The cry spread like wildfire, uniting the voices of strangers into a single thunderous roar. The ground seemed to hum with their collective energy, the chant echoing against the marble monument, spilling out into the open air. Trump stood at the edge of the stage, holding the feather high above his head. His voice, steady and full of conviction, rose above the chants. This eagle reminds us that America's strength lies in unity, courage, and action. Together we can soar to greater heights. The crowd erupted into applause, their spirits lifted higher than ever. Among them, Luke tugged at his mother's hand, his young voice trembling with excitement. "One day, Mom, I'll fly like the eagle." Martha turned to her son, her eyes brimming with tears. She didn't speak, but her smile said it all. For the first time in years, she believed, truly believed, that the future could be brighter, that her son could rise above the struggles that had weighed them down. As the eagle circled one last time above the Jefferson Monument, its powerful wings carrying it into the endless sky, it left behind more than awe. It left hope. A hope that would carry everyone in that crowd, long after the eagle disappeared from sight. As the eagle vanished into the vast expanse of the sky, its majestic flight left a profound silence over the crowd. For a moment, no one moved, as though they were rooted in the weight of what they had just witnessed. Slowly, the people began to leave, each one transformed, carrying with them a renewed sense of hope and purpose. Trump stood on the stage, his gaze lingering on the spot where the eagle had disappeared. His final words rang out, steady and full of conviction. This journey is not mine alone. It belongs to all of us. Let's soar together for today and for future generations. Crowd erupted into one last wave of applause, but this time it wasn't just a reaction. It was a promise, a collective vow to embrace the mission that had been placed before them. Though this is a fictional story, its message is deeply real. It reminds us of the incredible power of hope, unity, and action to ignite monumental change. The eagle, a symbol of freedom and courage, teaches us that even the smallest sign can inspire us to rise above our challenges and come together for something greater. This story urges us to remember, every dream matters. Every effort counts. Great change begins with unity. In life, moments of transformation often come unexpectedly, like the eagle's appearance. They remind us of our shared humanity and the strength we possess when we work together. If this story touched your heart, don't let it end here. Join us in spreading its message of unity and hope by liking, sharing, and subscribing to our channel. And we'd love to hear from you. Share your thoughts, your dreams, or a time when you felt inspired to rise above a challenge in the comments below. Thank you for being a part of this journey. Together, let's soar higher and brighter, just like the eagle.